especially in the officiating. We had someone from Vietnam, from Cambodia and Thailand.
How they play their hearts out here today.
From Team Vietnam, coming from number 2, Tan. They go set up for a middle hit, but it's rejected, doesn't cross.
Great anticipation there by the middle blocker from their middle, and ayun nga, maagang
mukhang binantayan agad. That was a hit coming from their middle blocker, number 18, Randu. On the other side, they set up for an open hit. Free point for Indonesia.
Too long by Zhuong Tien for that attack, and he had to, place back to get that ball over.
Looking at the lineup of Team Vietnam, they have quite lineup per se. Their oldest member is Dong Si Kan or si Lekon Kan.
Yes.
Number 8, who's inside the court.
Yeah, so if you take a look at the lineup of Vietnam, parang kung titingnan mo, mas veteran sila in terms of age.
Yeah.
Kasi itong lineup ng Indonesia, they are parading a much younger lineup. This is 19. Ito nga si Agil, and then their eldest player naman is si Dimas.
In the side of Indonesia, and that's what you have when you have these formidable programs. But when I check the World FIVB rankings, Vietnam currently is ranked at 131. So,
and maybe nagkakaroon din sila ng mga switching of players, so we can't really tell where they at now kasi dito pa lang natin malalaman in the SEA Games.
Yep, and you've mentioned it earlier, like even in the women's division, you were surprised that T4 is already here. But going back to our game, point goes to the side of Vietnam. Vietnam continues to serve here. Of Team Vietnam.
Yes, the middle blocker, Vu Ngao Huang.
Yep. Set up to the other side. They go to the open hit down the line. It does.
It's a little long.
That's a little long.
Yeah, but you would long.
That was coming from Tamamilang. Him at the screen right now as serve still goes to the side of Team Vietnam. Getting an ace, or rather over serving that ball. It's now Raka who's serving. Hit there coming from Vietnam, going cross court. Another point.
Open hitter yung pumalo dun sa attack na yun.
Now it's the team captain of Team Vietnam, Juan, serving. Juan serve sails out.
Now, that's one interesting thing also to point out. We need to see who gets to minimize their errors in this game because, they're actually equally strong teams. So, minimizing your errors will be an advantage for both of the teams.
This is a moment of adjustment for them trying to find their groove here.
Kasi first game and first day natin dito sa nandiyan pa yung adjustment nila as well as in the court.
Yeah.
Kasi even though they got the chance to train there, hindi naman siya yung full training. Parang more of a workout lang.
Yep. And of course, you don't have the lights, the crowd right behind you. If you're looking at it, we have a really good crowd here inside the Phil Sports Arena as an opposite hit on the side of Team Indonesia that is coming from Rivan.
Alam mo, bihira lang tayo makakita ng mga rallies in the men's volleyball because usually it's one stop, given the athleticism of the players. Pero yung kanina, medyo nag-exchange of rallies.
Tamamilang cross. So that gives a freebie to the side of Team Vietnam. Coming from Team Vietnam, Team Pilipinas right in front of us.
Getting ready. Oo, zoning out na.
Yan, syempre. Kaabang-abang yung kanilang match right after this. Coming from Team Indonesia's number 3, Sigit.
Sigit wanted to take, and kahit off the block yan, ang layo ng tinalsik ng bola because he had too much power in that attack.
High flyer eh.
Yes.
As we go back to our ball game setup, they go back row. Scoring from the back row is none other than Rivan.
Yes, and he has been very effective in that opposite back row attack. On that ball was high enough to, go above the blockers.
We saw that on that last replay as serve comes from Team Indonesia. Vietnam having a trouble serve. Tumidikit na or nakatikit na ang Team Indonesia.
We made a couple earlier in this set.
And it seems like they're in as the games continue.
We are tied at 8.
Setup coming from Vietnam. They go back row hit. That's number 14 of Team Vietnam.
Team captain. Been effective for both squads.
So a lot of combinations we're starting to see. So it seems like our teams are starting to find their groove as Indonesia gets that. They go to a hit. Patong play kung dito sa Pilipinas.
When the attacker hit that set,
That's the kind of quality plays that you'd be expecting when you are watching the last sequence. Some trouble on the side of Team Indonesia. Another freebie for Vietnam to work on because it seems to be symptomatic. They go up to the open hit or opposite Rivan.
yung mga open hits nila medyo naaabangan. So I think they really need to...
And what's nice to see in that play, that was a short set.
Yes.
It wasn't that high and it was kind of quick for an opposite hitter. So there's a lot of adjustment. But right now, Vietnam still ahead by 1 point. And we have number 18 of Team Vietnam, Vu Doc Huang. Set up. They go to the opposite side. Deny there. Tama Milang.
I think that's it, which was set by the middle blocker. And in men's volleyball, madaling bantayan yung mga medyo matataas na siniset. Madali nilang nabablock as we saw in that last play.
You being a women's player, differences between the men's and the women's, and you've mentioned dito. That's what we're trying to explain.
So women's kasi kahit mataas, may mga parang placement shots lang na makakapatay. Dito sa men's, syempre iba rin yung agility nila. So they're able to go to mga places na kahit i-placement shots mo, makukuha nila. So it's really about power. But pag nabantayan ka ng block, yun yung magiging problema. So kanila advantage talaga yung mga mabababa.
So those low fast sets ang binabanggit nitong si Mela. They set up to the open side. The cross-court kill works again for Tama Milang. I've been mentioning his name consistently.
He's feeling it in this game.
Showing a lot of heart, a lot of intensity.
Lumalayo itong dalawang, yung scores na dalawang teams.
Walang bumibitaw. Sabi nga ng iba nating mga kasama sa broadcast team. But that hit, he was quite under the ball there, talking about Team Vietnam.
But there's a violation, I think, sa side ng Indonesia. Ito nakikita natin talagang they're really taking this game seriously and maybe they're really looking forward to get that first gold medal this year.
Though, if you look at the trend of this Vietnam squad, it seems like there's a sign that they're starting to beef up their lineup. They're starting to have that program as they go to a setup. They go back row, denied there by Team Indonesia, Sigit and Yuda, if I'm not mistaken. We saw our first referee, Pawagit from Thailand. Serve now, coming from Team Indonesia, picked up there by Vietnam. They go up to the open side. On the other side, picked up there by Yuda. They go to a back row hit and a strong coming from Rivan. That brings Team Indonesia ahead now by 2 points.
In favor of Indonesia.
Leading. Coming from Team Vietnam, that's a freebie for Indonesia. Indonesia back to a 2-point advantage. See their captain on your screens.
So far in this game, Vietnam has been banking on their attacks. Wala pa tayo masyado nakikitang blocks from them. Pero ito namang Indonesia, more on mga blocks and check, tapos dun sila kumaka-counter-attack.
Mga key factors in SEA Games. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po kayo sa pagsuporta sa amin at sa ating lahat as we host the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Serve there, visit cross for Sigit.
That timeout worked well for the coach of Vietnam, breaking the momentum
for
of
Vietnam.
Indonesia.
As number 8, Khan serves, or rather number 14, Tikan pa.
Buti nahabol sa 8 seconds.
Set up there, they go to the open side for Tama Milang.
again, so far for Indonesia, yung mga open hits nila have been always angled to the cross-court side. So far, wala ba tayong nakikitang down the line? So, I think Vietnam has to adjust. They need to really majority doon sa side ng cross-court.
So far, we've been noticing it's going towards zone 1, right?
Zone 5.
And zone 1. Kasi pag yung opposite naman. So, for those corners,
Oo, baka narinig na sabi ko puro cross-court. Eto naman din down the line niya.
variation.
Yeah, however, outside yung atake niya na yun.
Substitution for Vietnam. Number 2 out, number 10, Ding Van Tu in.
Vietnam starting to find, they're trying to find their group.
The setter.
Because it's a 3-point lead for Team Indonesia now.
Attack for Indonesia from that opposite side have been working wonders for their team. Kaya nahihirapan din talaga yung defenders to guard his attack.
It's quite a high leaper there.
Tsaka yung contact mataas.
The reach of Irvan statistics here.
Again,
Same attack for Tran Chu. Same result outside din.
Indonesia takes set number 1, 25-20.
Their coaches taking up with their lineups from the first set, going to the second set.
And it seems like if you're looking at these two squads, it's really about a lot of creativity on their setters. As we saw, Vietnam starting it off early.
2-1 rallying his team at makikita natin yung kaninang ginawa niya na looking right and then hitting left has been very effective for him. Yun na naman yung ginawa niya to get the first point for his team.
Jump serve there coming from Team Vietnam. Trying to answer back. Doing so is Indonesia's Randu.
And you want to see it here in the second set.
Would you say that Team Indonesia's block rests too hardly on the side of Vietnam, that they have to be they're trying to be creative with their hits?
Well, definitely the blocking of Indonesia has been intimidating for Vietnam because nakikita nga natin side oo. So definitely na-intimidate din yung mga attackers nitong Vietnam.
As we look at this replay setup job coming from Vietnam stand, going to that back set, Manapilita Corrales, yung pagbali ng likod.
Opposite setting. Kung nasan yung receive na side, babato mo sa kabila.
And great point there. Hindi nyo nakakalito minsan though, when you're on the other side of the court, when you have a setter who's really good with opposite setting.
2-1 kanina, not over yung palo niya.
And now, Vietnam starting it off hot with some attack points as Indonesia will try to answer back, and they do with Tamamilang.
And that was a great anticipation by the blocker of Vietnam. The attack of Tamamilang was too strong. So nakabuka yung block nitong ni 2-1 kahit nakatapat na siya doon. Kaya lumusot.
They're in front of the blockers. Great serve there coming from Indonesia. They go to the open side on the side of Vietnam.
Good coverage by the libero.
For their middle blocker, Huang. But right now, he's playing the open hitter that are starting early for these two squads as we see the team captain of Team Indonesia, Nizar. Set up there. They go to Tamamilang. Tamamilang denied by the double block.
Medyo nababantayan na. Double block on Tamamilang, especially because he has been the name we've been hearing all throughout the first set. Vietnam leading and then nagkaroon na ng streak of points ito Indonesia. That's why they were able to go to the technical timeout.
Of Team Pilipinas after this going up against Cambodia. But we continue our ball game here as they go. It's number 12, Rivan, with a back row attack.
And we haven't seen that opposite back row attack in a while. And again, ginawa na naman nitong ni Nizar.
Serve and a hit there coming from Team Vietnam, or rather their middle blocker, Huang.
Kanina, they tried it twice, although it sailed out. Pero ngayon, we've seen, I think, 2 points from their middle attacks. And that's good. That's the adjustment that they had to make coming in the second set.
Vietnam now serves. They go up to the open side. Indonesia, that was Sigit.
Combination attack again from the team Indonesia. And we can see here, itong Vietnam, they attempted a triple block. Nagpatong na yung dalawa, yung open hitter at yung middle blocker. Too strong on that attack.
That was a great combination for Indonesia. On the other side, they go to number 12 who scores. Now it's Rivan who's making some noise for Team Indonesia.
Kasi kanina nung hindi slow-mo, we could see na sabay umangat yung blocker and si Rigit. Pero lumusot din because of the angle as well as the hang time.
Let's see how Indonesia tries to continue this. That is out. Vietnam gets a freebie there, tied at 11.
It's been effective for them. However, yung error na yun, parang iba lang yung tunog, parang hindi tumama sa kamay talaga ng attacker.
And we continue our ball game. Serve there coming from Team Vietnam. Indonesia goes to the opposite side, coming from Rivan.
Bumawi itong si Rivan after his error. Again, talagang minamaximize
Substitution
nito
for
ni Nizar.
Indonesia.
Yung
Number 9 out, number 10,
so far in this set.
So number 9 goes out. Yuda goes out there. Entrance of a new player, number 10. That is Zulfi. Back here, Tamaminang in the second set made some noise with that cross-court kill.
And he manages to pull off a through the block hit kahit ayan nakatapat na sa setter. I mean sa blocker nitong Vietnam. It's nito ni Tamamilang.
Feeling ko pag training baka sobrang bigat ng kinakabit niya mga weights, you know?
Kasi we can see kanina nga, di ba natumba pa yung Vietnam on his strong attack. And now it has been a 1-2 punch for Rival and Tamamilang for Indonesia.
Time
That has
out.
been the
Vietnam.
story.
From Team Indonesia, we just saw number 10 of Zilfi na kanina pa nag-iingay din. As serve comes from Indonesia. They go to a running hit. Yun, that changes the tempo a bit for two.
Ng score. Kasi kanina puro drops na nadidepensahan. Pero ito, great angle. It was a single block working well for them. Kasi ito nag-iiba na yung tempo ng laro ng Vietnam so far.
Gets a hit from the open side.
Yeah, again, a one-stop. When Vietnam focuses on a certain player, the setter of Indonesia, parang kanina Tamamilang, sunod-sunod Tamamilang, and then sunod-sunod Rivan.
That's the advantage of having like Nizar.
As the setter.
Yeah, as the setter, and he's quite young. He's 25 years old, or turning 25. Men's volleyball is just one of the really lucky sports that we get to see on TV.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, we have other games also being shown on our other platforms. We have weightlifting, but looking at scoreboard, Indonesia just from Rivan. So it's just a 1-2 punch from
Yeah.
Indonesia so far. Rivan or Tamamilang.
Yes. And pag nakakadikit, kanina nakadikit na 1-point disparity na lang. Pero ito, pagdating talaga ng endgame, pull away itong Indonesia. Because this has been the same story, like I said, in the first set. Pero sa dulo talaga, lumalabas yung mga veteran savvy nitong mga Indonesia players.
At alam mo kung ano nakakatakot? They're not, Vietnam is the older team if you
Yeah.
look at it average. But Indonesia is, just like in that last play, we saw those strong blocks.
Indonesia maganda rin talaga. That's why they are very confident in fielding in young players in a very prestigious leagues such as the SEA Games.
Yep, and if you actually look at the lineup, all these players are also club team members. Talagang batak na batak sa laro.
Yes.
And if we go internationally nga, the popular compared to our
Women.
situation.
Yeah.
ang
Pero we're
women's-
going there.
We're going there, yeah. With when you have Brian Bagunas, when you have Mark
Yeah.
Espejo, when you have Rana Abdilia.
And we have a couple of players being recognized internationally.
It's been exchanges of points for these two squads. First set was a similar story, but let's see if Vietnam will change things up with their 2-point disadvantage. Indonesia just unstoppable with that last play. Let's look at that again. Nizar going up to that back row.
And ito nga si Ardian, number 3 from Indonesia, has been joining the Tamamilang rather, and Rivan. So it's really the wing hitters that's doing the damage for Indonesia. Finally, they got another point in that middle area from that middle
Substitution
attack.
for Indonesia.
Dito sa
Number 1
Vietnam.
out and number 17, Donnie Haryono in.
But right now, we see the members of Team Philippines, Ish Polverosa, Kim Malabunga, Mark Espejo.
Mga naka-earphones, naka-airpods lahat. Nagana na sila. Focus.
Busy, ah.
Pre-game.
Nagka-tape na as Indonesia continues to score from their opposite side with Revan. Tweaks the last minute changes should be timed properly because it's a strategy. It's not just something that
Make or break din yun sa ano
kung
sa
kailan mo
team niya.
pinapasok.
Like that, a very effective timeout by the coach of Vietnam. Indonesia coming off from that timeout. But parang control it first kapag first serve mo sa game. Kapag after timeout. So those two situations, pangalawang serve mo na, doon mo na siya parang lalaksan talaga. So
Probably may adrenaline kasi na excited na bumalik sa laro. But right now, Indonesia set point advantage. Revan has been the name of the household in this second set. But there, you've mentioned it, the jump serve difficulties.
From the youngest player, Agil, the service error.
They go up to the opposite side still, and Revan connects and gets that last point.
Indonesia with set number 2,
getting a 2-set
25-22.
advantage.
They lead this match
Revan
2 sets to
going
none.
cross court on that last play and finding
2-1, the captain doing the damage for his team. Wala pa siya masyado nakakatulong since.
So, kaabang-abang ko ng Team Vietnam. But so far, Indonesia draws first blood.
We notice a new player in the lineup for Vietnam, number 11, Tran Duc Hang.
So, Vietnam trying to, as Indonesia tries to keep on scoring. As we look at this last play, that hit goes straight to the antenna. Point goes to Indonesia.
You know, to win a set, to win a game, but so far we haven't seen them close a set, and that's probably due to lack of composure or maturity in a way.
That was almost a regalo.
There is a challenge on the play by
but
Indonesia.
Indonesia will
Block
be
touch.
challenging it. Sigurado. Si Donnie Haryono na may touch. Nakita ko yung pagsimbolo niya sa kanyang coach. There's a check ball as Haryono in this challenge.
Meron. Nagwawag yung point finger.
Si Haryono, no?
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was successful.
Successful for Team Indonesia as we still have Revan Nurmulki serving for Indonesia, their opposite hitter. Strong, sharper jump serve pair. So maganda Vietnam with that running hit. Let's see.
That's probably their third running attack, and it has been effective for Vietnam.
There's a net touch on that play. So been awarded to the side of Team Indonesia. This inflates to a 3-point lead for Indonesia. The boys in blue and red.
Kasi yung mga front row attacks nila nabablock nitong Indonesia.
As we continue our ball game, back row attack. Nurmulki rather.
Revan's percentage in that opposite back row attack has really been high all throughout this game. Ng mga blockers dun sa kanyang back row attack.
In the second and third set, it's just his name that we've been mentioning. So far, down to 1 after that hit.
It was a hard angle for Sigit. Tapos nakahiga na siya, so it was hard for him to, you know, keep the ball down. And that attack went wide.
They go to a jump serve on the side of Vietnam. They go up to the open side. What a hit there. Coming from Revan Nurmulki.
On the first line, as we take a look at this replay, look at the leap and the contact on that ball. It was really high, and although it went all the way out.
You know what's also confusing, I've noticed, with the setter of Indonesia, Nizar? May ipit. Papunta na sa buhat, pero hindi pa siya buhat. Saktong ipit lang eh. And if you look at the way he sets, there's really that delay that really can confuse the
Oo.
blockers.
Blockers, because definitely when Nizar sets them up, may nalilate talaga na blocker.
And right now, number 12, Nguyen Din Nu is put in.
Angle by Rivan. Kanina, yung mga opposite back row attacks niya is cross court. Pero ito, yung kanyang front attack went down the line and it was a check ball.
As Vietnam goes up to the opposite hit, and it is for Tu Tuan, who has been quite quiet here.
Sabi ni Tu Tuan, did the exact same thing. Opposite set going down the line.
Coach of Vietnam looking quite unhappy there. We're talking about Zhao Xuan Chung.
Again, the combination plays.
At the
Indonesia has
7-second
really been a
technical
problem for
timeout,
Vietnam here. He has to find a
16-11 in
solution.
favor of
The
Indonesia.
attacks of Indonesia, kahit sa net defense or sa floor defense, then yung smarts, because he really swiped it off the
Yeah.
hands of the blockers.
And you know, the angle, the trajectory of the ball was going straight to the tip of the hand. So, you know, hindi makaka-press talaga itong Vietnamese players as
Oh, the first time in this match that the setter decided to drop the ball on a second touch.
well, it's crucial moments for Team Vietnam now, Mela, if they want to. But so far, Indonesia having that 4-point lead, the comfortable distance as they make it.
Again, Rivan has been unstoppable all throughout this match. We haven't heard doing the damage for their team. Rivan really the one stepping up.
If there's someone supporting, it's their youngest member, Haryono,
Oo.
but mostly it has been Rivan Nurmulki. As Vietnam gets the point back on the side of their court from Tien.
The third set, it has been a battle between Rivan and Tu Tuan.
So it's really the support of the other members of Team Vietnam that you're looking for here, Mela.
You know, the attacks of Tu Tuan, they're all really so strong, pero not enough to stop that Indonesia has been making.
Well, it's hard if you're battling it alone and then you
Yeah.
have members on the other side of the team who's effort.
Ang hirap kasi ng 4 points is to
Yeah.
1. Oo, mahirapan.
And it's not that we're taking anything away from the members of the Vietnamese squad. It's just that they seem to be not in check here.
Yeah.
Has been firing and powering through, especially Rivan.
I mean, we've seen some glimpse from the other players of Vietnam, but it is really Tu Tuan who's been scoring. Indonesia has been making.
Yeah, like I would recall the running hits from Tiu.
Yeah.
So there's those glimpse of excitement for the Vietnamese squad, but that's the problem. Again, we now have Sigit on side of Team Indonesia. Serving. Straight to the libero. They go to a quick on the side of Vietnam, answered back by Indonesia. Sasagot si Rivan went off the block. Look at that again. Perfect setup from Nizar, connecting to another senior member, Rivan.
Substitution for Vietnam.
So setting up Rivan, those excellent sets. Nakita natin yung middle blocker ng Vietnam was already laid on that block.
Set up there, going to the opposite side.
Like I mentioned, it has been 2-1. You know, stopping the scoring of Indonesia.
Tu Tan Tuan doesn't get that across. That gets that across and finds that perfect spot.
Ito mo yung ano ng shoulder niya.
Iniwas niya.
Masakit yun.
Bali eh. Bali.
Oo. Well, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of ball control to do those kinds of attacks. Again, look at the
Firing through.
The body language of Vietnam. Every after nagpo-point to Indonesia, they look really down.
And Indonesia just keeps on powering through
Yeah.
everything. They just demolish any obstacle that they have in front of. As we saw, Tony Haryono again scoring. Tony Haryono, who replaced Tama Milang in the latter part of the second set.
Definitely, it just gets better and better for Vietnam, for Indonesia rather.
So there's that
Yeah.
their coach is giving to them, no?
Ito, nakita mo yung atake ni Rivan again?
Tu Tan Tuan, who's been carrying the load to the squad.
Yeah. And the Vietnam coach has already tried both the setters.
Yep.
But the tempo, we've seen glimpse the setter nagkaroon ng mga mas maraming middle attacks. Pero in terms of really generating points, itong Vietnam.
Well, there again, we saw Tu Tan Tuan just trying to convert there, but a block, a game changer for the side of the Vietnamese squad.
Timeout, Indonesia.
Against one of the main guns of Indonesia. And then second set, 22-25. So we really want to see how Vietnam can stay close in this game. However, attack has no blockers for Indonesia, leading them to go on the match point.
Zulfi, who did not start, but is making also his presence felt here. It is now match point situation for the Indonesian squad. Serve coming from Indonesia, overcooked there of Team Vietnam. That came from Sigit, but this is still doable. 3-point disadvantage as Vietnam goes for that jump serve. That is overcooked, unfortunately.
Costly error for the
Match,
game.
Indonesia wins in straight sets, 25 to 20,
Indonesia
25
wins
to
it in
22,
three
and 25
straight
to 21.